everyone. Good morning. I am Komfie Manalo and welcome to Kalingang Katribu Usapang Business, a digital show weekly dedicated to micro, small, and medium-scale enterprises where we offer them opportunities to expand their businesses and, of course, look for new opportunities for business, especially during the time of the pandemic. Today, we are lucky to have the CEO and founder of Impact Hub, as well as the founder of Vote Pilipinas, to share with us their program highlights in this episode of Kalingang Katribu Usapang Business. Good morning, Ces.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Hi. The last time we talked about, well, the last time you were here, we talked about Hub Manila and what the company does. But now we would like to know you more. So, who is Ces Rondario and prior to Impact Hub, and how did you land to that role?
So I've always been an entrepreneur. I've been in the social enterprise space since I was 16. And, you know, my background was always in supporting, I was always interested in business, basically. And in 2013, I was already dabbling in doing programming for micro entrepreneurs, actually. And I was looped in an email together with some people who was trying to bring Impact Hub to the Philippines, because Impact Hub at this point, the network was already alive. It was already in about 45 countries. And there was a group of people that wanted to bring the brand to the Philippines. And I was looped in that email. To this day, I still don't know why I was looped in that email. And I started talking about it. I went to Singapore to see the hub in the flesh. And that really started the whole journey. And we founded it. I had two other co-founders in the beginning. Eventually, after 2 years, I'm now the sole owner of the company. And so my background has always been entrepreneurship and sustainability. It was almost like a confluence of everything that I was passionate about: entrepreneurship, sustainability, and I like making things happen. I was always a catalyst, and so it kind of just made sense. And it's been 6 years since we opened doors, and yeah. I hope that answered the question.
Yeah. Which came first, Impact Hub Manila or the Impact Hub Asia Pacific? And what's the distinction between the two?
Well, Impact Hub Asia Pacific was technically the first Impact Hub in Asia was in Singapore, and when we joined the network, there were already about 5 other countries. But when I became the regional lead, it was when we opened in New Zealand. So I was the one who helped open the hub in Waikato. So that was one of the things that I did in the last 4 years, I think, and that I've been in the region. So it expanded to Asia Pacific about 2 years ago, I think.
Speaking of the Asia Pacific opportunity, especially in the times of this time of pandemic, how do you foresee, how do you look at businesses or opportunities in the Asia Pacific region during this time?
Well, it's definitely changing. It's shifted so much, right? So I think even prior to the pandemic, there was always a big question about how to get everybody to a scalable, I guess, situation for a lot of the startups, right? But overall, I think there's really been a need for a lot of digitization, a lot of upskilling. I think is going to be happening across the board. I don't know if Asia Pacific was ready for this.
Before the
To be honest.
before the pandemic, the Asia Pacific region is getting towards to become the hub of the digitization, particularly fintech. And now that the pandemic has accelerated everything that is digital, do you think the Asia Pacific region will be able to sustain that momentum and be the center of digitization?
I think when you say that we're the hub, I think this is where the most growth can be expected because we're not leading it by any means, right? Let me
Yeah.
just be very honest. I think in terms of how much things can be done, I think we are leading in that department because there's so many areas of growth. I think in that context, we probably are the forerunners. But in terms of being well in the way in it, I think we have definitely inched closer to doing better, but there's a long way to go. There are a few, first world countries in Asia that have been taking serious strides to it. Um, so I think we can all learn a thing or two from them
So how do you think,
in general. But so yes, I guess. Go ahead.
how long way are we to achieving not
How
say
long?
leadership, yeah? Not just leadership, but to be an important player in the fintech area. Excuse me, Ces? Can you hear me, Ces? I think we lost connection with Ces. We will try to reconnect with
Or
him.
in the fintech area.
Okay.
Oh, can you hear? Hello, can you
Yeah,
hear me?
we can hear you.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you
Yeah.
now.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Well, as a region, I think collectively, I think there are some countries that are doing very well, right? There are countries that have, hello,
Yeah.
that have developed further, right? But if you're talking about the Philippines, I think we have a long way to thread. If you're talking about years, I wouldn't be surprised if it takes another decade to really get us onto the map. Um, if I'm being honest about it.
Okay. You're also heading the Accelerate program. So can you tell us about it and what are you doing with these entrepreneurs?
Yeah, so the Accelerate program it's really it's the global offering of Impact Hub for the rest of the network because normally our membership offerings were very much tied to space. So now we flipped that model and we now really just provide programmatic support in terms of mentorship and skill building within the members of the hub. Less on space use, less on space interventions, but more on capacity building for the entrepreneurs. So the Accelerate membership for Asia Pacific, we launched this with Bank of America, and normally these are paid memberships, but Bank of America is supporting this effort. So we are giving away. We've shortlisted 100 entrepreneurs across Asia Pacific, and we are giving digitization support. Shopify is our partner. Facebook is a partner. HubSpot is also going to provide support to entrepreneurs. And basically, our goal is just to help them get through this new normal by giving them all the support that they need to get them through this digital, addressing the gap of the digital divide, basically.
Okay.
So that's the program.
From your perspective, what constitutes a good business and what's the best foundation for success?
Well, a good business needs to be solving a problem and providing an offering and a value to its consumers, right? So that's the point of it. If you aren't able to provide value to your customers in a way that you can quantify and you can measure, then you're in trouble, right? And I mean, speaking very bluntly, a business is only a business when it starts to earn. So, right?
Yeah.
So I guess that's value and profit,
Yeah,
right?
thank
So
you
in
very
our
much.
world, the impact world, it has to be a threefold thing, right? So people, planet, profit, and hopefully it contributes to progress.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ces Rondario. We will be back after short reminders.
Magpabakuna kayo.
This public service advisory is brought to you by Daily Tribune and 100.3 RJFM.
Magandang araw mga katribu! Narito na ang mga makakasama nyo tuwing umaga sa programang Gising Na. Roy Pelovelo, Komfie Manalo, Chinky Mangkukang, Vernon Velasco, Kim Sancha at Chirk Balagtas. Abangan ang programang Gising Na mula alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga sa Facebook page ng Daily Tribune.
Ilabas ng mainit na kape at samahan kami sa inyong pag-almusal, mga katribo.
Sama-sama natin alamin ang mga natatagong istorya sa mga latest na kaganapan sa loob at labas ng bansa.
Simulan ang bawat umaga with good vibes sa mga informative and recreational segments dito sa ating programa.
Maaari niyo rin ibahagi sa amin ang inyong opinion via Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now sa YouTube.
Makichika na rin sa latest showbiz happenings, mga katribo.
Kaya naman, magkita-kita po tayo mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga at magsama-sama po tayo sa
Gising Na! And welcome back. We're back with Kalingang Katribu Usapang Business, and we still have Miss Ces Rondario, the Executive Director
Hi.
of Impact Hub Manila. In your previous guesting, we talked about climate change hackathon, but now you just recently wrapped up the last Impact Hackathon Vertical on Health last weekend. And what solutions were you surprised to see from the team?
Well, it was very funny because we actually put a problem statement there where we basically said we wanted to have a solution that could help.
I think we're having another technical issue regarding internet connection with Mrs. And we will try to re-establish internet connection with Ces Rondario. Mrs., if you can find a good spot with a good internet signal. Mrs., we are losing you. You're choppy. Anyways, so Impact Hub is a organization, or is Ces already there? Is she back? Not yet. Anyways, so we will try to re-establish connection with Ces Rondario. In the meantime, we will pause for a short break.
Mga katribo, handa na ba kayong sumayaw at manalo? Halina't sumali sa Katribu Bakuna Paturok TikTok Challenge handog ng Daily Tribune, Teleradyo Bandido TV at RJFM. Napakadali lang sumali. Step 1. Like at i-follow ang Daily Tribune Facebook page at TikTok account upang maging updated at makasali. Step 2. Bumuo ng isa o grupo na hanggang 3 katao at gumawa ng TikTok video gamit ang opisyal na Paturok Jingle Daily Tribune at RJFM na makukuha sa TikTok account ng Daily Tribune. Paturok!
Pababakuna ka ba? 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 Vaccination for the nation. No more isolation. With vaccination. Pababakuna ka ba? 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 Paturok! Paturok! Paturok!
Step 3. I-post ang inyong video sa Daily Tribune TikTok account at gamitin ang hashtag Katribu Bakuna Paturok. Maaari ring i-mention ang Daily Tribune TikTok account para sa inyong entry. Huwag kalimutang i-like ang official Facebook page ng Daily Tribune. Manood at huwag kalimutang i-share ang programang Gising Na Facebook livestream mula alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga para alamin ang daily winner. Lahat pwede sumali. Make your move. Lumabas at magpaturok na ng bakuna.
Paturok! Paturok!
Again, we're very sorry. We want to
Hi.
our apologies because we lost connection. Anyway, Mrs. Rondario is here again. So,
Hello.
again,
Yes.
to repeat the question, the last time during your last guesting here, you talked about climate change hackathon, and you recently had your Impact Hackathon Vertical on Health last week. And what tech solutions were you most surprised to see from the teams?
Yeah, so when one of our challenge statements was on creating a dashboard to monitor vaccination rollout in the country, and we specified that we wanted to see this application on a blockchain, no? And we were very surprised that we actually had very good solutions that came through. Obviously, they couldn't build it within the 48 hours, but they had presented the white paper and the whole functionality was explained. And overall, they were very promising solutions. And the winner was actually a group of high school students who basically who created an app that could help a rural community identify. It was a they were able to do computer visioning, and which means they could it was an application that could detect wounds and that could present options for treatment. So it was pretty cool because those kids built the whole system in 48 hours.
So
That was pretty impressive.
aside from that, which application do you think, coming from that recent impact hackathon vertical, which application do you think will have a significant impact that will change the way we live?
Well, I don't know if it will change the way we live, but it will significantly change the communities that will be taking who will be using the solutions, right? So the winner is actually a very good one because it was a very focused solution. It had a very clear business model, and they already had existing connections with stakeholders. Yeah, same with the LGU tracker, right? Because that's a very important thing that we need to establish within the country right now to be able to know who's been vaccinated, who has yet to receive it. I think those will largely impact the community.
So do you think this application will be sustainable and scalable?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they just really need to identify how to test it and how to pilot it and how to find relevant stakeholders to be their first implementers, right? So a lot of it is going to be community based. So it's totally it's going to be implementable.
Okay, again, we want to know more who Ces Rondario is. So, Ces, can you tell us what drives you and what keeps you working every day?
What drives me?
Yeah, what drives you to keep working, what you do, to keep doing what you're doing every day?
Funny enough, this pandemic was really a big shot in the gut for me, right? Because it just really kind of revealed the problems that we already knew existed, but it kind of highlighted the many things that has yet to be done. And so when you see so many things that are wrong and so many things that have yet to be solved, and I'm a problem solver. That's always been my background. I've always wanted to fix things. So with the many things that needs to be proposed solutions for, I think I wake up every day thinking what else can be done, what else can be resolved, but also because I'm so excited to see entrepreneurs coming to life, bringing their ideas to life. That high never changes for me. So
how do you envision the future of Impact Hub Manila, and what programs have you lined up for this year?
For the rest of the year, we are starting to. Well, there's still 2 hackathons left. There's still one in agriculture in October, and then we cap off the year with Smart Cities Hackathon, and then we have a culminating event in December. And we also have the rest of the Accelerate program to deliver, and a bunch of other things that we have yet to launch. And of course, Vote Pilipinas is keeping my team very busy. We have the elections coming around very soon, and as well as the registration. It closes in 30 days. So to everybody watching, please register to vote.
Thank you very much, Ms. Cesa. We will be back again after a few short reminders. Welcome back to Kalingang Katribu Usapang Business. And still joining us today is the CEO and founder of Impact Hub Manila, Miss Ces Rondario. In this segment, we will play a little game. We will show you some questions, and we will be starting with the question, would you rather? And then tell us the first things, the first words that comes into your mind.
Sure.
Yep. So first question, would you rather be a politician or an artist?
Game. Would I rather? I think I'd rather be an artist, but I'm not talented at all. So, but if you ask me, I'd rather be an artist.
Would you rather drink coffee or wine?
Wine or coffee? Coffee.
Mm-hmm. Would you travel abroad or
Coffee.
local if it's not if we're not in the pandemic?
Abroad.
Mm-hmm.
I miss traveling.
Mm-hmm. Which places have you been? Or which place do you miss the most?
I miss my favorite. Well, I've always loved Europe, so I want to go back to Europe.
Mm-hmm. So would you rather hang out with a musician or an actor?
Musician. I love music.
Mm-hmm. Tsaka maarte actor. Last question. Would you rather watch a movie with Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise?
Brad Pitt.
Why?
I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. I've just always like I like Brad Pitt's choices of movies better than Tom Cruise. So maybe there's more to talk about.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mrs. Rondario. You've been very sports-ed and you've been very kind. And thank you for the time that you spent with us today.
Thank
and
you.
Hopefully we can have this again. I think we will be hosting. We still have a partnership until the end of this Impact Hub series, right?
Yes.
So we will be seeing
we'll
you
see you
at the end
again
of this
next
year.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Definitely.
And thank you very much. Do you have anything to
Thank
promote
you.
or any parting words to our readers or viewers?
Well, you just please stay tuned to Impact Hub Manila's Facebook page for our next hackathon. We have agriculture coming up and smart cities in November. And also, please do check out votefilipinas.com for our voter registration campaign. You know, I can't stress how important this election is going to be. So please do register to vote. Registration ends on September 30, 2021. We have 1 month left to go, guys.
And
thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much also. Thank you very much as well, Mrs. Rondario. It
Have a
has
good
been
day.
a delight to have you in the show.
Thank you. Next time, hopefully with video na.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Watch Kalingang Katribu Usapang Business live every Monday on Daily Tribune's official Facebook page and our episode replay on TV Now's YouTube channel. I am Komfie Manalo and this has been Kalingang Katribu Usapang Business.